Good morning, welcome to Tattoo Twin Tarot. So this morning, I'm cleaning, I'm in my pyjamas still, no makeup, hair's still in last night's naughty bun. It is what it is. But when the message comes, you just deliver it. So this morning I was kind of triggered, but without realising it. Subconsciously, the way I spoke to somebody, the way I reacted, they sent me a message saying, you do realise every time we have a conversation about my divine masculine, especially if it's something, because my divine masculine hasn't got a phone, so he can't phone me or anything, so he kind of passes the message on through somebody. And my defence mechanism always tends to go up because I'm just so used to being disappointed. That I've walked away, I don't really care. But obviously I do care because it's still triggered. But I didn't even realise that was triggering. So I thank the person, so thank you for letting me know. Something I've got to work on. So while I was cleaning and about to hoover, the word trigger. There's other people going through this, trigger. So I thought, okay, time to do a reading. So here I am. And because we're in a massive healing, triggers are a way for other people to show us what we need to deal with ourselves. So this is perfect in the next stage forward. And maybe a lot of you are getting triggered by now by things that people are saying, how you're reacting, the defense mode's kicking in because you've decided this is reading somebody who's walked away. Oh, well, he's not ready. So if he's not ready, fuck it. Your heart's still there. You really want this, but you know you have to do what's best for you. This is for you. Okay. So the first angel card we picked up was clear your space. Get rid of the clutter, clear the energy around you and use feng shui. So when you've got triggers, it usually means clogged up thoughts. You can't process things properly. So when you've got things lying around you or the house isn't quite tidy or you've been a bit of a slum, especially how we've been feeling, it's very acceptable. Just can't be bothered type energy. It's now asking you to help clear the triggers away by clearing the clutter away, which is exactly what I've been doing today. The next angel card was sensitivity. You're extra sensitive to the energies and emotions right now. Honour yourself and put your feelings first. And accept your feelings, not put your feelings first, accept your feelings. So by understanding that these triggers are yours and clearing your space, you're going to let go of the anxiety related to the triggers, related to your person. And that's because you're really sensitive. So instead of using your defense mechanisms because you're sensitive and you've been triggered, allow yourself to be sensitive and vulnerable and drop the defense mode. Because if you're healed, then you shouldn't be reacting like that, like I shouldn't be, because we know better. But recognizing it sometimes can be difficult. This is your sign to say, recognize what you're doing and how you're reacting. Relationship harmony. We are angels are opening up the hearts of everybody who's involved. Arguments and conflicts are now being resolved. So by allowing yourself to drop your defense mechanism and open up your sensitivity and allow yourself to be sensitive, and it's okay to be sensitive because this is very raw emotions that's going on, you're not going to go into a conversation with your divine masculine with aggression. You're going to go in there harmonious. So you aren't going to go in there with anything that's going to trigger your divine masculine to get defensive exactly the same way as what I did this morning, which is why I think it's here, because I think a lot of divine masculines are starting to really get triggered because of how much we've all walked away. Or your person, whichever one you call it, the masculine, whatever you want to, I don't know. Some people are triggered by the word twin flame. Some people are triggered by the word soulmate. Some people are triggered by everything. But this is what it is for me. And I'm reading what I see. And the reason I'm saying twin flame is because I haven't pulled any tarot, but bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming in is a twin flame. Okay. That's why this is why I know it's resonating to the whole situation. Finally here, outdoors. Go outside, get some fresh air, connect with nature, relieve stress, gain new creative ideas. So whilst you are now on the understanding of why you've got to deal with these triggers, how do you process them? The best course of action that the spirits are guiding you is to get outside, go into nature. Be free at one. Do something after you've cleared it out. Go for a nice walk. Even if you just sit out in your garden with a cup of tea. If it's too cold, don't take your shoes off and put your feet on the ground. But if you can, by all means do so. It helps ground you. Just brings you back into balance, because for this connection to really work, or even for you to work for yourself, not even for somebody else, for you to connect to your inner self, you have to have that balance so you can make that rash right decision, that right choice when this person comes in to communicate with you. Okay, so why have you got to clear your space, and why is this coming into you now with all these triggers? Because this is healing. Look, and then we've got some trees outside with a shadow side. So this is you reflecting on your shadow side. And those shadows are not as big as the actual issue here, but they're following you around. So by accepting your triggers, you're accepting that, okay, I can see why this is happening. And it's okay. And I'm doing the healing work. The bad time has passed and a phase of healing has now begun. What happens next is completely up to you. So by you clearing your space, you clear your mind, you see yourself, you see the other side of things, and you understand that, okay, I got this. I can do this. Healing is where I need to go. I don't need to concentrate on why this has happened, but it's happened, and now I'm going to deal with it. Fresh air. Your body needs refreshment from the oxygenated air generated by grass, trees, plants and flowers. Spend some time outside today. As near to Mother Nature and cradle as possible. Open up your curtains and your windows and refresh your home as well. Everything in this line is exactly for your benefit, which what you do when you get the trigger, this is what you do. The coughing. Endings. So you're being triggered, and this healing is because there's an end in here, the end of a cycle with a coffin. Let me just get the exact phrasing that they use, but I know that is what it is, the coffin. Endings, closure and completed of a cycle. Congratulations, you've reached the point where you can now see the dark within yourself and things can get triggered. You've completed a cycle. This person, whoever it is, whether it's meant to be or not meant to be, was here for you to heal the best part of you, and this has now happened. You can recognize the little things. You don't need to wait for it to bubble up and bubble up and bubble up. It's see it, acknowledge it, I feel it, process it, let it go. Lesson learned. Well done. Under sensitivity, we have hope. Don't give up. So the extra sensitive energies that are around you and emotions right now, when you drop the defensiveness, you'll realise deep down you still have some hope that this is going to work. So this is why I said it's for the people that really, it wasn't about letting go because you didn't want them. It was letting go because you didn't want them how they were in their unhealed form. And if they came back healed, you would more than happily have them. This isn't for those that have said I couldn't give two shits and whatever else. And no matter what they do, I'm never taking them back. This is for those that have kept space in their heart but not kept them in their life, which is a perfect way of dealing with things. Underneath that, we have noticed the signs. Yes, the signs you've been receiving are heaven sent. We have been dropping feathers, coins and other signs upon your path to remind you that your loved ones are never alone. This morning, cleaning up, I found nearly £1 in change. And yet the other day, my kid said to me, have you got any change? I was like, I haven't got any. We searched the room, nothing. By clearing up, I found nearly, well, I think it's about £1.20 or something in change. So the signs are there, but recognizing the signs in yourself about how you deal with things is part of the letting the barriers down and opening up the vulnerable side and allowing it to happen. And by not giving up, when you don't give up and you open up that sensitive part rather than the defense mechanism part, because you've been healing, you've been doing what you need to do. Bottom of the deck, you have commitment, the ring. Don't give up, because this is telling me that once you've healed, the ring of commitment comes in. So let me read the commitment, dedication and allegiances. So you are in alliance with somebody here, which is obviously your person who's probably triggered you and who you've walked away from completely. Under the relationship harmony, we have the kiss. Sometimes you have to kiss a few frogs to find your prince. So any conflicts or arguments about the past, or if your person's been off with somebody else, rather than getting triggered because they've been off with somebody else, it's they had to do that. And the reason being is because the more people they connected to, the more realised how special you are and how unique and how divine you are compared to everybody else. And you don't know that till you've got comparison. Like I say, you don't know how good life is until you figured out how bad life is. So I think if this person's been in third-party situations, this was really his way of understanding just how special and the connection, how real it was for them to you. Assertiveness. This situation can be healed gently with love, as you requested, yet there's also a need for your strength and your truthfulness with this other person who's involved. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, give you strength and guide you with your words. And then we have a reward, the treasured cycles. So by you understanding that this person, why you've been triggered, why you've had to go on your healing, and why they've probably had to go to a third party, it gives you the understanding that this was how it was meant to be. So by keeping yourself assertive, obviously that's your intuition, assert yourself, say what you want to say in every which way form, but say it with love. Don't say it defensively. Don't say it cruelly because that's how you feel inside, because you're projecting your pain onto them. Let's read the actual thing for the treasure. I know I've seen it because, oh, the treasure chest. Reward, recognition and motivation. Them realising this is going to motivate this person to push forward and see how much you really are their other person. What else? Outdoors, go outside, get some fresh air. Irresistible. You keep being drawn like a moth to a flame. Don't get your wings burnt. So these triggers are pulling you in. And every time a divine masculine comes in, if you're in this defense mode, you're burning your own wings by reacting, and then they're firing back at you. So you don't kind of get anywhere. Be mindful that this is an energy that's meant to come in, and you're meant to process it. You're meant to get triggered. You're meant to understand why you're getting triggered. And you're meant to understand that this is a part, and you'll start being grateful for those triggers when you go, I've been triggered. Wow. Okay, so what am I going to change? Because this is for my benefit, not even for anybody else. This is my benefit. Bottom, we have be honest with yourself. Look into your heart and you will know the truth of the situation. It's safe to admit the truth to yourself, for we will support and guide you through any necessary changes. Lean upon us for the courage and the strength to take good care of yourself. Focus only upon your true desires, and they will come upon you with your angel with wings. So the angels are saying that the guidance that you're getting is really to be honest with yourself and why you're triggering and what you really do want. And if this person's going to come up and be very open, very honest, rather than reacting from an old place of, well, you've told me this a million times before, use your discernment. Use your intuition. You'll know. You will know. And now that you're vibrating at such a high level of truth, understand that people can't come in with lies and get away with it. You're far too far into your mission now for you to be misguided or the wool pulled over your eyes. Then we have the snake. Renewal. So let's have a look at the snake. Renewal, rejuvenation and reinvention. So you've rejuvenated and you've reinvented the person who you are. So when this person does come in, which it's telling me it's your twin flame, that you deserve it. These are all the bottom of the decks for the cards I've done. Nurturing. As you nurture your child, you nurture the open inner child. Both activities are important. And after that, the talk we had the other day dealing with the inner child and why it's so important to deal with the inner child, it makes sense. Then we have focus on service. So you've been really focusing on the service by not paying attention to what you're doing, without realizing you're helping others in a far greater way. And this is your path, whatever that may be. recognizing it in somebody else, accepting that you have been that person. So if somebody else is triggering you, then you have to take that and understand that that's for your own best benefit. Okay, so I had an overall, what is going on here? What's going to be, why is all this happening? It's happening because you need to let go of some control issues here. Because this, by doing this, you're going to get to know the new person. They're going to get to know you, getting to know each other again on a deeper level of intimacy. So by you being really truthful, really accepting of what your triggers are, understanding your childhood traumas and issues and how it's affected how you deal with relationships, whether it's fight or flight like me and you do the runner when you don't hear what you want to hear, or by somebody being emotionless triggers you into being defensive rather than more opening and get them to understand, or just being open to accept and don't say anything in return. By being defensive, you set this person off and they come back as defensive because they're your mirror. Makes sense? Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. When you go from the place of purity and understanding, acceptance, and non-avoidance, you find a passion in life that enthralls you for wanting to move forward. So like today when that trigger happened, I was really impressed with myself. I even thanked her and said, thank you very much. Thank you. You've made me realise that there's something else that I need to focus on. And why is that focusing? And then it became a greater message. So the bottom here is the tree. This is all happening because it's building new foundations here. New foundations. This is a healing issue that you need to face and you can work through, and you don't need to run away from. You don't need to be defensive, even if it isn't what you want at the end. By understanding that, by giving this very open, free information to yourself, is going to help you in the long run in any connection, regardless whether that's the person. But this is about the person. It's quite obvious it is. Okay, so because it's about your person, those of you who do not want to understand or know about the twin flame, I think you better take off, because this might trigger you. And then you're going to wonder why it's triggering you. So that's your issue. Don't deal with it. Okay. I shall do a reading a bit later on for triggers exactly the same, but for those who are not going forward in the connection that they believed they was in and have completely walked away. But this is not for you. This is for the other side. Okay. These are my own Divine Masculine cards. I don't use them very often. Okay, so Spirit. Bearing in mind what we've just learned about triggers and how this person is going to come in from the vibes that it's been given, give me some messages, 3 in total, what the Divine Masculine is thinking about deep inside, or wished he could say, if he could speak his truth and wasn't triggered by you, or what he might say when he comes in, if you don't defend yourself and make him go on the fly attack. What is it that he really wants to say? Even that's his intention. Even if you change if you don't change the perspective of the whole conversation by being defensive and understanding that he's going to trigger you if you don't hear the exact words that you want or need, and just go from that place of love and openness, balancing your energy out. Let's see what he wants to say. One more shuffle. What is the Divine Masculine deeply thinking about regarding this connection? What does he want to come and say? Okay, we've got 2 that have come out straight away, so I'm going to get the 3rd one. Divine Masculine, what is it that you want to say? Divine Masculine, what does it want to say to your feminine? Divine Masculine, what is it that you want to say to your feminine? Okay, bottom of the deck. Why they're coming in now is because for so long I ran, and now I would do anything to feel you in my life again. I can't find a doorway and I feel left out in the cold. So this is that 5 of Cups energy, isn't it? Left out in the cold. And they felt this for a long time, but you see, their triggers and their defenses have been keeping them away because they don't like being vulnerable as well. They don't want to admit to the mistakes and the guilt and the trauma that they've created. So they've probably been living in a blur. They could be with somebody else, not accepting, oh, well, I'll just stay where I am, whatever the third party might be here. Okay, first card. I became the man I swore I'd never be, and I know I'm making the same mistakes and changes need to happen. I just don't know how. So this person understands that every time they come in or go out, it's always very defensive. It's that irresistible card, always getting their wings burnt. They understand now that they're the reason why this connection hasn't been able to take off, because their dark side has been very traumatic for them to deal with. I feel safe in my darkness. So that's why they've been gone, because in their darkness over there, they feel very safe, because the light shines upon the things that you need to fix, and they haven't been ready to fix those things yet. And the last card, I want to marry you. So that comes on top of their final healing, your final healing. So their intention is to marry you. There's the ring, the commitment. Their intention is to marry you. And they had to go through this darkness because you called it an end. You completely cut it off. And by you learning your triggers when this person comes in, they're going to have an open forum to really open up and have a very deep heart-to-heart conversation with you. Without judgment, without fear, with being vulnerable. Because that's how you're going to allow them to come in, because that is the energy that you are holding now. Okay, we're going to get one maybe from this one, and then I might do one of the love answers. Yes, I think I will, wherever they are. Over there, the Dorian Virtue. It's pretty much a love reading, so why not? Okay. Island. Okay. Coffee. Meeting and conversing, savouring the moment, feeling uplifted. Friendship. So this person wants to come in, bottom of the deck. Welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together. Perfect. So this person's going to ask you for a conversation. When they message, they might say, can we meet up? We really need to talk. There's going to be some deep clarification of what's been going on. And it's going to make you feel very uplifted. Even if you only decide to be a friend to this person while they're going through the stages that they're going through now, but being there for them is going to be something that they value very, very much. 2 on the screen. The last ones we're going to take is the answers card. So let's give us some answers. Let's see if we can find anything about... I will pull a tarot card for timing on when this person is going to go. I suppose it depends on how long it takes for you to understand the triggers and your defensiveness, because if you're still defensive, then you're not pulling in the alignment of acceptance. So I will do... I will pull a tarot card. So this person's getting some more information about themselves, but they are planning to come in within the next few months. Bottom of the deck. They're improving their mental health, their normal health. So if they could have addictions, they could have codependency issues. But this all round is where they're focusing their energy on right now. So within the next few months, it does say. So let's just... we don't need to do the tarot to confirm this, do we? But get more information. So they're getting more information. What are they getting more information regarding? And then we will do a timing on top of the next few months. Getting more information. What's this divine masculine getting more information about at this time? The moon, the illusions. Illusions. So getting more information before coming in. They may think that you've because you've moved on, that there could be somebody else. And that could be the illusion or the things that are not seen. They don't see this because they don't know what's happening, or you don't know what's happening. So the more information, they're finding out some truths here. 5 of Swords, yes. Something that's creating a lot of anguish for them. So they need to process what they're going through. Queen of Swords, to be able to come in and speak the truth. Or they're worried that if they come in beforehand, because they think as though there's going to be that chopping of the sword, because I think in the past you've been quite defensive. Within the next few months, what's going to happen with this divine masculine while he's on his healing journey? The High Priestess. He's going to get to a place of knowing who you are. This came out in the Treasures. So you're going to get to a place of knowing, understanding that this cycle has completed, a new one to end, to begin. He has to, so a new cycle is going to come in the next few months. But he has to understand why this has all happened. 7 of Wands. He's willing to defend himself, stand up. 5 of Wands. He could have some battles that he's got to face in the meantime, in the next few months. There's a hard slog that he's going through, but by you being open and understanding to this, speaking your truth, saying, if you was to come back whole, then I would want you, but right now I'm not waiting for you anymore. I'm doing me. You do you. And you're focusing on your service. Focus on your service. And this person's going to go through their battles. They're going to go through their battles. They need to find that they are able to do this. And by you stepping up the game is going to make them. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Have a good day. Happy Sunday.